Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Ceeworld Reviews. I'm gonna be giving you the raw and uncut versions of movie reviews. Now, when I say uncut, I don't mean anything bad or anything like that. I'm just gonna tell you what everybody's been thinking about the movie. And probably haven't, I guess they probably haven't said it or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it real. Everybody wants a real review, not something that everybody's been saying about a movie. And I'm your guy for that. My reviews are gonna be real, authentic, and true to what you see in the movie, and also true to who I am. So once again, welcome to Ceeworld Reviews. Sit back, relax, laugh, and just enjoy your stay. I know you will. Today we're gonna take a look at Disney's 1993 Halloween classic, Hocus Pocus, directed by Kenny Ortega. It stars Bette Midler, who's best known for her work in Beaches, Ruthless People, and 1996's The First Wives Club. Sarah Jessica Parker, who's also known for her work in the ever so popular TV series Sex and the City, that ran from 1998 to 2004, and the Sex and the City movie adaptations in 2008 and 2010. And Kathy Najimy, who's mostly known for her roles as Sister Mary Patrick in Sister Act 1 and 2, and she was the voice of Peggy Hill in the animated TV show King of the Hill, that ran from 1997 to 2010. The kids in the movie also have some credits in there too, but I don't think there's anything that you guys would know, so I'm not gonna worry about that. All right, so let me just start off by saying this. I just want to get this out the way. Disney movies were a little different back then. Disney was dark. I'm gonna just keep it real. They had some scenes that would probably have you scratching your head. In short, Disney ain't give a not one was ever given. It's kind of like they were like, hey, we're gonna make some kids movies, but we can put some stuff in there for us too, right? We can kind of make it for us too. And that's exactly what they did with this film. I mean, it's a kids movie, but it's dark at the same time. It's for children, but it has a lot of dark moments in there where if you watch it, you'll be like, is this really for children? Wait, is this well, hold up, pause it real quick. Can they watch this? Is this good for them? Because I just saw they have stuff in there like that. So just be warned. And when you look it up, it's in the category of comedy, family, and fantasy. No horror or anything like that. But when you watch it, you'll probably think otherwise. So without further ado, let's get right into the movie. The movie starts off somewhere in the 1600s. They don't really tell us exactly what year it is, but based on clues later on in the movie, that's where we are. The main kid in the movie, John? No, Zach? I don't know, he's not really important. Well, he is, just not right now. He wakes up in his sleep to find out that his sister's missing. I guess back then it was cool to just wake up and run off alone while all your chaperones are asleep. That's what they did back then. I mean, I don't know. Now, where are her parents, you might ask? No one knows. And apparently she'd rather keep it that way. So the big brother wakes up and he starts to search for her. He comes across a friend who notices that some witchery has started off in the distance in the woods. So they run a little bit, and to their surprise, they find little Emily running off in the distance into the woods, following close behind one of the witches, who, mind you, she doesn't know. Total stranger. But you know what? Maybe it's not really a surprise to them, you know, to the big brother and the friend, because if little Emily is so willing to follow a total stranger off into the woods, she's done this before, 100%. They scream after her very loudly. I mean, they scream her name loud. Emily! And she can't hear them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like she's that far off into the woods. Or I don't know, maybe she's just ignoring them. Who knows? But she just runs off into the wood. But really quick, before we go any further, a quick word from our sponsor, Ceelogic. Ceelogic provides you with helpful tips and advice to help your day go smoothly and to prevent you from getting caught up in any sticky situations. Ceelogic rule number 422. There are only two times, ever in life, where it's actually a good idea to run into the woods. Number 1, never. Just don't do it. But under extreme life-threatening circumstances, there is an exception to that rule, which brings us to number 2. What the hell did I just say? Huh? Never. Thank you, Ceelogic. Now back to the movie. Big bro meets up with his friend and he's like, yo, go wake my parents. Tell them to get the villagers, cause we gonna need some help with these witches. Oh, so that's where they were. Everybody's asleep. See? So like I said, Emily does this. This is literally what she does. She waits for everybody to go to sleep, and then she frolics in mischief. And then he runs off into the woods, damn near killing himself. And then he arrives at the house. So as he arrives, he sees Emily merrily following the witch right into the house. Emily.
Stranger danger.
Did they not teach you this? Big Bro peeps through the window and sees Emily sitting in a chair while they prance around her. Almost as if she wants whatever bad thing that is going to happen to her. I mean, she sees her big brother in the window and she sort of sends him this look of concern. But then in the very next shot, you just see her there sitting, chilling, and smiling. So I don't know what Emily wants in life. They hear something and go looking to see what it is, but they don't find anything. So they just go on and continue their spell stuff with this creepy looking book that looks like it's alive and it has an eye that actually opens. So while they're gathering their ingredients for the brew, Big Bro finds a way in and he watches from above. Now, one of the witch's special abilities is that she can smell children when they're around. But when she says something about smelling a child, they're like, hey, there's a child right over there. Relax. That's what you smell. Which they show Emily again, straight chilling, not running away. Yo, this is a true story. I heard it before. I don't know when. This girl, she was kidnapped. And I believe they said her kidnappers tied her up or something like that with some rope. So they left to go do something stupid, because I'm sure they ended up getting caught. But she literally chewed through her ropes and ended up getting away. Yo, true story. You can Google it or something. I don't know where it happened, but I know it's true. Chewed through the ropes and got up out of there. Emily, you're a disgrace. Now, all these witches, they all have their own abilities and personality traits, so to speak. This one, she can smell children when they're around or close by. This one, she's more like the ringleader. She's really serious and stuff, always stern. And this one right here, she's more of like the thotty witch. Yeah, you'll see.
All right, girl. Open up your mouth.
At this point, Emily, you have to know something's wrong with this picture. You gotta help me. Okay? Meet us halfway or something. You can't save your little woods wandering ass if you can't pick up on the clues that they about to kill you. Big Bro jumps in and fights him off, and then he goes to get Emily, but then he's zapped by some witch zapping. All the while, Emily is literally sitting there, unshackled, no restraints, no handcuffs, no ropes, nothing, and doesn't either help or run away. She just sits there, smiling. At this point, Big Bro, you just gotta let her go, man. Boys and Men taught us it's hard to say goodbye. I know, but she ain't worth fighting for, and she ain't worth you dying if she herself doesn't want to be saved. I'm not gonna do the J. Cole joke because that would be in poor taste. But yeah. They knock him out, and when they look at the girl, she's glowing? I don't know. And then they say that the potion worked?
The potion works.
She didn't even drink it. Disney. So they like suck her soul out or something, like Shang Tsung, and then they become a little bit younger. Then Big Bro wakes up and starts roasting them and stuff, telling them that they're ugly and hags and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, that is messed up. But is he lying? So then they get all salty and stuff, and then they decide that his punishment is gonna be that they're gonna turn him into a cat.
Just like this.
Which is messed up. I mean, turn me into a dog or something, or an eagle, or a lion. I know that's a cat, but not a house cat. Nobody likes cats. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know. Maybe cats were frowned upon back then, and that's a punishment? I don't know. So they saw this as a sufficient punishment. So the parents and the townspeople finally show up. Yo, where were y'all? It was morning when his friend left to go wake y'all up. Or, I don't know, maybe it was the evening. But that don't even matter. What y'all sleeping at 6 p.m. for anyway? Either way, they get there and they capture the witches and they put them up on the chopping block. And yes, this is a kids movie. And yes, those are nooses around their necks. Disney in the 90s. Go figure.
What hast thou done with my son Thackeray?
Thackeray.
Answer me!
Well, I don't know. Cat's got my tongue.
Oh, so that's his name. Thackeray. Yeah, Big Bro sounds a lot better. So before they die, they start chanting some spell or something that says that if a virgin on Halloween lights some type of candle, then they're gonna come back to life. I don't know, something stupid like that. So yes, every single one of those variables have to coincidentally fall in line for them to come back. And I mean, there's no way that can happen, right? But Disney, and then they kick the buckets over and they hang them. Yes, this Disney movie for kids shows the hanging of 3 people. Yes, I know they're witches, but Disney still gave no fucks back then at all.
Away! Away, beast!
See, I was right. Definitely frowned upon. Mind you, this movie came out in the 90s, so I saw it as a child. And it scared the shit out of me. Can't even lie. I mean, so yeah, if you're watching as an adult, it's whatever, you know, it's not gonna bother you. But watching this as a kid, it's a little different. So fast forward to the future, the movie cuts to a classroom setting of a teacher telling that very same story to her students on Halloween, because this is the town where all of that supposedly took place. The movie's main protagonist, Max, he ain't having it with all the Halloween mumbo jumbo, and he calls BS on the teacher's story, telling her that Halloween was invented by the candy companies. Then Allison defends her town's honor, and she's like, look, we like Halloween, so shut the fuck up.
It just so happens that Halloween is based on the ancient feast called All Hallows Eve. It's the one night of the year where the spirits of the dead can return to Earth.
I mean, that's the same thing. We know what she meant. Now Max, I guess being from California, saw that as her making a pass at him, and his immediate response is for her to hit him up, because he has the only Halloween candy that she'll ever need. And with every slide of the DM, there's always that one hater.
Hey, wait up. Call you?
Max, bad chance.
School lets out and all the kids are celebrating like they just got let off for the summer, spraying silly string and stuff everywhere. I don't know where y'all from, but Halloween ain't no holiday from school. Y'all gotta be here tomorrow. Max pulls up on Allison on his bike and apologizes in case he embarrassed her for the abrupt DM slide in front of the entire class, and he introduces himself. They chat for a quick second, and then she hands him back his phone number, because she said on Halloween, I only eat king-size Snickers, and you have a Twix. Max rides home through the woods, and what did our sponsor C-Logic tell you earlier? Nothing good happens in the woods. Stay out of there, kids. He rides through the cemetery, and 2 random-ass kids literally pop up out of the ground, like they were there waiting for someone. They introduce themselves, and immediately you can tell that they're both seemingly cut from 2 separate culture cloths. One clearly sporting the punk rocker gothic vibe, and the other, well...
This is ice. So...
They start to shake him down and asking for cigarettes, money and stuff, like they're literally the cemetery police or something, or the toll staff. I don't know. Then they imply to him that they're gonna steal his kicks. Now this is the part of the video where I inform the audience that Max is a bitch. I don't know any other way to slice it. No sugarcoating or nothing like that. Now I know what you're saying. That's a little harsh, but he's a bitch. And you'll see plenty of clues as to why as the movie goes on. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna steal my kicks, an extra large side of hands is gonna come with that order. Try Jesus, not me. If you're gonna jump me and steal my Nikes, you're gonna be wearing some bandages and some ice packs along with those shoes the next day. Just find a way to make it match. I don't know. Or at least I'm gonna fight back so much to the point where they're just gonna be like, you know what? Keep the shoes, bro. They ugly anyway. But he just gave the shoes away with zero resistance. Clue number 1. Max gets home and storms past his parents, implying to them that he just had a bad day, and he goes upstairs to his room. His little sister busts out of his closet, and she starts to tell him that he's gonna take her trick-or-treating tonight, and he's like,
Well, you're 8. Go by yourself.
Ninja, what? That's what y'all doing out there in Cali? So you're cool with your 8-year-old sister walking around town by herself. Clue number 2. She starts to hug him, and she's telling him, look, you don't have to always be this cool teenager. Do you know your brother? And then she's like, look, let's just do this like the old days, okay? And Max is like, the old days are dead. Fuck off me.
It'll be like old times.
Yeah, well, the old days are dead.
And then she hits him with the, I tried to do this the easy way. I really did, but you want the hard way. And then, like every annoying ass little sibling, she pulls out the big joker.
What about you, Max? What are you supposed to be?
A rap singer.
Oh.
A rap singer. 90s Disney. So they're out trick-or-treating and spending good quality brother and sister time together when these grown ass kids, I mean all of them, at least 16 years old, you know, the ones who ganked him for his shoes earlier, but now there's like 5 or 6 of them or something. They're out terrorizing little 6-year-olds and stealing their candy and vandalizing people's property and decorations. Oh, and there are no parents out with these little kids, by the way. Where do they do this? Wherever Salem is, don't go there. It's clearly not safe. Now, Max. Remember what I told you earlier about his character traits? He's going to put it on full display right here. These punk teenagers are making the little kids give them 10 of their candy bars in order to leave this house. But at least little Danny has some heart.
Dump out your sack.
Drop dead. Moron.
Whoa.
Yo, Twerp, how'd you like to be hung off that telephone pole?
I'd just like to see you try. Because it just so happens I've got my big brother with me. Max.
Do you even know your brother? They start to make fun of Max, and as they try to leave, Danny shows even more heart.
Stuff it, zit face.
Why, you little...
Hey.
And yes, in case you were wondering, that kid does look like he was about to hit his little sister. I mean, he at least moves towards her and raises his shoulder. Now look, how I see it is, you don't even need to raise your entire hand. A little shoulder raise is all I need to confirm that you were gonna hit her. And even if you weren't, you shouldn't have raised your shoulder, bruh. Now you got hands coming your way. Now kids, I'm never one to condone violence. But if the guy who just bullied you earlier in the day is now bullying your little 8-year-old sister, I mean, that's literally your green light for you to man up and change your ways. But I mean, it's Max. So what does Max do? He hands over a bag of candy and says, let's go. Now don't get me wrong, walking away is also a good option, kids. But if someone raises their hand or shoulder at your little sister who's 8,
Who's 8?
sure, walk away after you knock their ass out. Simple.
Should have punched him.
It would have killed me.
He used to have died like a man.
Oh look, even his sister is like, yo, at least you could have died like a man and hit somebody for me. She's like, look, why do I have to tell you, the big brother, to defend my honor? So right on cue, Max goes into his B mode again. We're just gonna call it B mode so I don't have to keep saying the word or anything like that. And blames his sister for him getting punked. Oh, wait, hold on, time out. So it's her fault that these punks are out here running the street stealing these little kids' candy? It's her fault that she wanted to stand up for herself? That's clue number 3. Or maybe it's 4. He's been in B mode for so long now, I can't even keep track. And he starts yelling at her, telling her to get out of his life.
You just humiliated me in front of half the guys at school. So collect your candy and get out of my life.
Good job, big bro. That's how you handle that situation. So now she's like, look, I've had it with those. I want to go home now. And then she walks off and starts crying. But then he at least makes up for his, to quote Diddy, bitch assness a little bit and goes over to apologize to her. And then he starts to explain what's going on. He's like, look, I've been in high-powered B mode because I don't like it here. And he starts talking about how he hates this place and he wants to go back home and he misses all his friends. Wah, wah, wah. Max, you want some cheese with that wine? And then Danny's like, look, you gotta suck it up, bucko. This is your home now. So just get used to it. It's interesting to see that in this movie, the little sister is more like the big sister, just younger. They walk inside the house that she was crying outside of. And it turns out to be the house of the girl that owns the DMs that he so boldly slid into early in the movie when they were in class. She tells his sister that she likes her costume, and his sister, who you've seen so far is extremely bold and couldn't spell the word filter if it was the only word on her spelling bee, immediately returns the compliment, but also adds that she can't wear anything like that because she doesn't have any yabos, which translates to breasts. She blurts that out while also snitching on Max, saying that that's what he calls them, and then tells Allison that he loves her yabos. I really can't make this up.
I really like yours too. Of course, I couldn't wear anything like that because I don't have any, what do you call them, Max? Yabos? Max likes her yabos. In fact, he loves them.
How you just gonna go around telling people that I like their titties? Huh? Girl, I can't take you nowhere. Jeez. Allison just blows it off and tells her that she's really into witches. And Danny tells her that she just learned about the Sanderson sisters in school. Wow. What a coincidence. Max and Allison just heard the same exact story in school today too. She tells Danny that her mom used to run the museum about them and that it was shut down because a lot of weird stuff happened there. Of course, Max takes this opportunity to go out and be alone with Allison. So he suggests that Allison take him and Danny to visit the old Sanderson house. Now Danny, being the smart one, she's like, can we not? Like, in what universe is that a good idea? And also, being the savage that she is, she says,
Danny, this is the girl of my dreams.
So take her to the movies like a normal person.
Danny!
She offers a deal to him that they'll go as Wendy and Peter Pan with tights on next year for Halloween. He hesitates at first, but then he glances up and sees that butt again and he's like,
Okay, deal.
So they show up at the old house, and how this place is so easily accessible to the public, I do not know. But they get past the gates and literally just walk right into the museum. And yes, for some reason, the light bill is still being paid on this abandoned museum. So yes, the lights do work. Because Disney, they cut to a shot of the 300-year-old cat looking at them from outside. Which, I mean, this isn't the house that the witches lived in, but just like a museum made of replicas of stuff that they used to have. So I don't know why the cat is even there to begin with. But for some reason, the villagers from back in the day saved the damn spell book. So now it's here in the museum. Oh, look at Max slide up on her. He's not slick. Or maybe he is, because she didn't say anything. So maybe, just maybe, she's starting to slowly come around to that Twix. He sees the black flame candle and reads the inscription that says the legend about the full moon and stuff, which it just so happens to be. It will raise the spirits of the dead when lit by a virgin, which he also happens to be. Of course, if lit on Halloween night, which of course it happens to be. Wow, look how the stars have aligned. Disney. So of course, without coming up with anything else to do, like, I don't know, leaving, he comes up with the bright idea to light the candle so they can meet the witches. His sister and Allison both say no, so he decides to light it himself anyway. Right then, Mr. Cat jumps in and scratches him on the neck, and he's like, yo, if you light this candle, I might have to put these paws on you.
Stupid cat!
Okay, maybe cats are still frowned upon to this day, I don't know. The smart ladies say, okay, we're taking that as a sign, let's get out of here. But then Max utters the title of the movie by saying the classic line.
Go.
Oh, come on, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
And then stupidly lights the candle. All the other lights go out and then wind starts to blow and razzle dazzle nonsense starts to happen. A bunch of earthquakey stuff happens and then things get quiet. And the little sister Danny is like, yo, what are you doing? A virgin lit the candle. Stupid. Lights start flickering and fire starts, and then you hear a loud laugh of the witch as they bust through the door. They start looking around and they're all happy and stuff. Then the one with the special nostrils is like, yo, I smell a child, a little girl. They find the young girl and she immediately puts on her Shakespearean survival performance. And she's like, look, I'm one of y'all. I know I'm young, but I'm the long lost little sister, so we're all good here.
I thought they'll never come, sisters.
Greetings, little one.
'Twas I who brought you back.
Imagine. Such a pretty little child. Look at her. And she's so well fed, isn't she?
But they look past all that and they just start poking her because they said she looks plump and she's so well fed. And then she screams a few times, but sure enough, by now we all know who her brother is. And he can hear all the screaming he wants. He's in B mode, and he'd rather hide than come to help his little sister. Maybe that's clue number 6? I don't know. She tells them it's the year 1993, and they're like, well, hey, you should stay for supper. And they pick her up, and they're about to put her in a freaking pot. When finally, oh, Big Max comes to save the day. Nice of you to show up, big bro. But then she's like, nah, and they give him a quick zap, and down he goes.
You! I haven't lost my touch, sisters. Say
Now see? I told y'all I like Danny. She's a G. At least she tries to help her brother. Unlike that little stranger danger loving
Emily
at the beginning of the movie, who just sat there and accepted her fate. Right when things are looking at their worst, the new ride or die Allison jumps in and smacks the Bloodhound Witch with the broom and then a pan to the head. That frees up Danny to where she grabs a bag of some sort and smacks the witch that is zapping her big brother. See, Emily? How hard was that? Dang. And then she also smacks the thotty witch. The lead witch tries to grab her, but Felix the cat jumps in and he's like, these paws! Max thinks of a plan that fools the witches and makes them think that the sprinkler system is the burning rain of death, to which they run away to go find shelter. The cat trips him and he's like, yo, nice going, idiot. Now grab the spell book and let's go. He then leads them to a gravesite to show them some random stuff. The firefighters come and they turn off the sprinklers at the museum house. Not knowing what firemen are, they're like,
man, this is the worst night of the year. Give me a hand.
Who are they? Boys?
I told you. She explains to the Goofy sisters that the spell that brought them back only works for tonight. When the sun comes up, they're toast. Binks the cat tells them the story of his sister and how he became a cat.
Because of me, my little sister's life was stolen.
No, dude. Because of your sister, her life was stolen. Your sister did nothing to help that situation and did literally everything to make it worse. Okay, y'all, real quick, time out. I'm gonna tell y'all something personal about myself. I have this thing where when I'm watching a movie, it could be any movie, it doesn't matter what it is. I have this list that I make mentally in my head. It's called the DTD list, the Deserve to Die list. And as I'm watching a movie, if I see a character that is just being stupid, or if I see a character that gets to the point where they've done enough stupid things, or somebody's not using their brain enough, or that person is just doing something where it looks like they're just putting other people in harm's way, or they just look like they're not serving any real purpose in the movie anymore, I put them on this list. And then I'm like, yo, I think to myself, I really won't even be mad if they die at this point. I know you got some people who like that character's been in the movie from the beginning almost all the way to the end, and you don't know if they're gonna live or die or not, but they're just being really stupid, and then you just get to the point you just give up on them. You're like, you know what, go ahead and kill them. Like I don't even care anymore. I just be yelling at the TV and I'm like, hey, killer, come right here they go, come kill him. Like I have no more emotional investments in this person anymore. This girl Emily, oh yeah, she got on that list real quick. Once I saw that look on her face and I saw that she didn't really care about her brother's life or her life, I was like, yeah, 100%. She gotta go. Save Thackeray. But Emily, nah. Say goodnight. It's been real. So he tells them, look, I've been wanting to die. I've been waiting to die. But because of the curse, I can't die. So I just spend my time trying to keep people away from this book, which has been magically kept in good hands and great pristine condition by you stupid people. But that's neither here nor there. So. And he's like, yo, cause I knew some airhead virgin might come one day and light that candle. But then Max gets all high and mighty saying, oh, well, how bad can it be? Because, you know, they're all old and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Oh, where was all that energy when the rocker dude and Vanilla Ice ganked you for your shoes? Huh? Where was that at? And did you not just literally see her throw your body around without touching you? It's like he just got hit with the Men in Black neuralizer and just forgot about the last 5 minutes of ass whooping he just took.
Stay out of there.
Why?
Because I said so. That's why. Go sit your little badass down somewhere, Allison.
Stay out of there.
Why?
It holds Winifred's most dangerous.
Because I said no. No. You don't need to explain nothing, Binks. Just stay out the book, Allison. Damn. We dealing with real life issues here, but you want to ask why? Why are these kids acting like they haven't seen anything that's been happening so far? This one want to light the candle. This one want to open the book. I'm not gonna let this review make my blood pressure, cause man, listen. They tried to burn the book, but Binks tells them that it's protected by magic. The witches show up and mock Max's hocus pocus line.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
But they weren't even alive yet when he said that, so yeah. The Thoughty Witch says a little flirty line to Max.
Brave little virgin who lit the candle. I'll be thy friend.
They really keep pointing out the fact that he's a virgin. That's messed up. But the new jealous not yet girlfriend ain't having it. And she grabs the closest thing she can see and starts swinging it at the Thoughty Witch. You might need to wipe her up, Max. She's the one. And once again, the two girls always seem to take the initiative over Max and fight off the witches. Yo, you just proving my point from earlier, dude. Man, this might just have to be your new real name. Max B. Mode. They run off with the witches chasing them. They get to an area where the witches can't cross or something. I don't know. And then she brings back to life her ex-boyfriend, who she poisoned and had his mouth sealed shut because he cheated on her with her sister. Can you guess which one? Apparently she controls him now or something. I don't know. And she has him chase after them to go catch them. A bus pulls up to where they are and they're all scared and stuff because they don't know what it is. And they're like, hey, what's this contraption? And the bus driver starts flirting with them and he's like, this is a bus. I can take gorgeous creatures like yourself to your most forbidden desires. And of course they're like, well, shoot, we desire children. What's good? And he goes,
We desire children.
Hey, that may take me a couple of tries, but I don't think that'd be a problem.
Yeah, Disney did not give a damn. Like, literally, at all. They're like, we're gonna make a kids movie, but we're gonna have all kinds of adult content in there. They get on the bus, and out of all the seats on the bus, you already know where she decided to sit. The kids have been running through the sewers and finally make it out to the street. Max lifts open the top to look outside, and Binks comes flying out. And at that very moment, the bus hits Binks. Disney killing cats now, I guess. But like I said earlier, he can't die. So he turns into Wolverine Cat and heals back to good health right before their eyes. They get off the bus and they're confused because the strong-nosed witch can smell the children, but she can't see them. The kids find an officer sitting on a motorcycle and they run over to tell him what's going on with the three witches.
I broke into the old Sanderson house and I brought the witches back from the dead. See, I even have the book.
You lit the black flame candle.
Yeah.
And he's a virgin.
Yo, okay, time out. I don't know how many times they're gonna run this virgin gag in this movie, but they're really living it up. They even have the little sister making virgin jokes. And I bet she doesn't even know what a virgin is. And it's kind of like Disney was passively acting like being a virgin is a bad thing or looking down on it or something. I don't know. And kids, just so you know, it's not a bad thing at all. It's actually a good thing. I'm a virgin. Yep. Never had sex a day in my life. Good stuff. Then they even have the cop act like he cares more about him being a virgin than the story that they just told him.
Come here. Are you a virgin?
Yeah.
Really?
Look, I'll get it tattooed on my forehead, okay?
Really? You're a virgin? And you're in high school? What kind of kid are your parents raising? Turns out the guy was just some jerk who was dressed up as a cop on Halloween. Which is good, because he was a real butthole. The witches see some guy dressed up as the devil and think he's their master. So he invites them inside and they're all chilling and stuff. And the wife doesn't like them, of course, so she goes upstairs. Then the thotty witch starts to do her thotty witch stuff and starts to dance with them and all this stuff. Then the wife comes back downstairs and sees this, shuts the whole party down. They get all in her face and stuff and start telling her to make us leave or whatever. Then she sicks the little cute doggy on them. The doggy's name is Luda, so he gets up and he's like, "Move, witch, get out the way." Yeah, he's not playing no games. They finally realize that the kids aren't hobgoblins and that they're actually children dressed up in costumes. Max and the crew arrive at their parents' adults-only Halloween party, where they're dancing and listening to music and stuff. Wait, so is that why all these kids are running around town on their own? With no adult supervision? Because all the parents are at their own party? Like I said, wherever this place is, don't move there. Apparently the entire city is just full of bullies and poor choices. The kids tell their parents what's going on, and of course they don't believe them. Okay, I get it. Your kids sound a little crazy right now. But as a parent, it's your job to at least look into what they're telling you. Even if you think it's crazy, just give them that peace of mind about whatever it is that they're going through. If they say there's something under the bed, you know there's not anything under the bed. But you look anyway, for them. They say there's something in the closet, you go look anyway. You do that for them to calm them down. But in this case, you literally have another person who is not your child, and she's saying the exact same thing that your kids are saying, but yet you're still acting like they're all drunk or something. Do better, movie parents. You could save a lot of time if you just believed your kids every once in a while. Parents never believe their kids, and then they just end up dying. Serves them right. I don't know. Should have believed them. The kids spot the witches at the party, so Max makes an executive decision and jumps on the stage and announces to everyone what's going on and that the witches are actually at the party right now. But being the savvy, conniving, deceitful witches that they are, they put a spin on what he said and just acted as if he was giving them an introduction to perform at the party. Obviously, being a Halloween party and their parents not even trying to believe their kids, everyone just thinks that these are just regular people dressed up as the Sanderson sisters. They start to sing and distract everyone, and I must say, this is one of the most iconic movie songs that came out from Disney in the 90s, and it still lives to this day. It's very recognizable and has a catchy ring to it. So apparently the song they sang is an actual spell, and it's supposed to make the parents dance until they die. The kids are like, yo, let's get out of here. Nobody's going to listen to us, so if they die, then whatever. They get outside, and Max shows this aggressive side of him that I guess he's had hidden deep down inside somewhere. Oh, so now you a badass, huh, Uncle Donnie? Where was all that energy when Long Island iced tea ganked you for your shoes earlier? Huh? Where was all that anger when the punk rock boy charged you that candy toll and Ice Tray raised his shoulder at your little sister? Oh, but you see a garbage can and now you tough. Your sister needed you to throw some hands and feet like that earlier, but I guess you magically suppressed all of that anger you had built up. You beat up on that trash can. Good job, bro. Allison gets an idea from looking at an old oven outside where they were hiding, and then the next scene, coincidentally enough, finds them all, yes, all, Max, Allison, Danny, and the witches, all at this Jacob Bailey high school place. Yo, I can't make this up. The very next scene, they're all there. And they get inside. How'd they get inside? It's like nothing is ever locked in this town. Not the witch museum, not this high school that is closed right now. Nowhere is locked. I told you, poor choices. Max is inside and he gets on the speaker system, scaring the witches. Little Bink sees them in the hallway and baits them into following him. They set up a 90s Sony boombox. Yes, kids, Sony was around way before PlayStations. And they have it playing a recording of some random talking that they think is a child, I guess, but clearly is an adult French lady teaching French? I don't know.
I am looking for a children's book.
And the voice lures them into a, wait for it, a furnace. Yes. A furnace? is at this high school. Literally built in to this school. What high school do you know of that has a damn furnace in it? Do you know how dangerous that is? Of all the dangerous things that you could have at a high school, you choose to have a damn furnace. Once again, do you know how dangerous that is? Someone could, I don't know, trap a kid in there and kill them because it's at a damn school and it's clearly accessible. They all just waltz into this school and use this contraption that can kill people. This is Disney's Hocus Pocus, not the Nightmare on Elm Street, not Hell's Kitchen, not anything fiery. You know what? Woosa. I'm done. I'm done trying to make sense of this movie. I'm gonna just have fun. No more logic. I'm throwing all that shit out the window. It's gone. There are so many things wrong with this scene right here. But I digress. Moving right along. They cut to outside and you see a bunch of green smoke coming from the school's chimney. I guess witches have green ashes? I don't know. And the kids are outside celebrating and dancing and whatnot. Yeah, we did it. Woohoo. Max and Binks have a heart-to-heart. Then Binks brings up Emily, and Max is like,
We did it, Binks. We stopped them. I've wanted to do that for 300 years. Since they took Emily. You really miss her, don't you? Man, you can't keep blaming yourself for that.
Exactly, Max. Tell him. That's not his fault. Emily wanted to die, my guy. I hate to break it to you, but she went to that cabin to commit suicide. Ain't no other explanation. At least nothing that makes sense. Binks is like, yo man, take care of your sister. Cherish her, love her. You don't know how precious she is and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then Max is like, hey, where you going, bro? You're one of us now. So Binks joins the crew and they all head to his new home. They get there and they're wondering where their parents are, but they obviously didn't get the memo that they're all dirty dancing to death back at the party. Binks has his first home-cooked meal in 300 years, and then he goes to chill in the bed with Danny. Meanwhile, Max, I was wrong, homie. My bad. Allison said, I do like Twix, because I forgot. There's 2 in there. So after I'm done with this one, there's another one in there waiting for round 2. She said, you can break me off a piece of that Kit Kat ball. What? Disney can make adult jokes and I can't? Psh, fuck out of here. While they're sleeping, the 3 witches use their own regenerative powers and come back after the burning. They go off looking for the kids and come across Tweedledee and Tweedledum. She sniffs out the sneakers and she's like, oh, wrong boy. But right on cue, these 2 idiots realize it's been a little too long since they've said something rude. So Blondie calls the witches ugly and they're like, who you calling ugly? Ugly? And boom, they're trapped behind bars. They try to remember what the recipe is to their special brew, but without the book, they can't seem to get it right. She calls out for the book, and the book is like, new home, who dis? Book looks over and sees an unusual amount of movement going on under those covers. I don't know whose hands are doing what, but Disney, so yeah, whatever. Max looks down with a smile of approval, and Allison wakes up and she's like, oh crap. It's 5 o'clock. My parents are gonna kill me. Max, of course, is like, yeah, but I wish you could stay. And she sort of hesitates for a second as to say, should I? They both look over at Binks and start feeling sorry for him, saying that they owe him and that they're gonna try to help him out. Of course, Allison, being Allison, comes up with a reason to open the book, saying, if the witches used it to put the spell on him, we can use it to take it off. No! That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Are you a witch? Huh? Are you a witch? No? Well then take your little ass back to sleep then, Allison. Because whatever it is that you're thinking is almost guaranteed not to be a good idea. Even Max tries to be the voice of reason and he's like, yeah, I know, but Binks told us not to open it. So, and then, being Allison, she says the most Allison thing she has said the entire movie.
Well, the witches are dead. What harm could it do?
But Max is too blinded by the WAP at this point to follow through with his own warning. So he's like,
Just be careful.
I will.
and of course, like anyone who knows they're about to do something they're not supposed to do, she asks him to hold her hand. Like, look, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta find some way to blame you too. Or at least if we're connected or something, we can say we were linked or some shit. I don't know. So it wasn't just me by myself. She opens it and the book sends out some type of orange light beacon bat symbol into the sky that the witches can use as an emergency flare to go follow and find the book. They start reading the book and they find out that putting a circle of salt around them will protect them from the witches' powers. But that's the only thing they can read, because right after that they hear, "What the f did I just say?" Binks jumps on the book and closes it shut. And of course, Allison has an answer to everything.
We were just trying to help you.
Well, don't.
And he's like, "Did I ask for your help?" And he slaps the piss out of one of them. I can't tell who he hit. Maybe it was both of them together. I don't know. But he's pissed. And then he swings at them one more time to assert dominance. Because these kids are hard-headed, you know? You can't just do one. You gotta throw a few paws at them to make sure they know that you're serious. They go to see if the parentals are home, but they're still not back yet. And they start to have a feeling that something isn't right. Allison tells Max to get some salt because she feels safer with that thing on her hip. After having a higher sense of security with the salt in her hand, because let's face it, no one feels safe with just Max by himself. They lean in for a quick smooch in the kitchen, but that's quickly interrupted when they hear the sound of glass breaking upstairs. They run back upstairs to see that the book is gone. Then he goes to wake up Danny and we get a jump scare as Thotty Witch jumps out from under the covers and the other two come from the closet holding Danny and Binks captive. Max gets zapped and Allison makes a salt perimeter around herself with the new spell knowledge she just acquired. So the witches leave her alone and fly off with Danny and Binks, leaving behind a massive hole in their roof. And honestly, I'm just curious. I don't know how they're gonna explain the hole to their parents. I mean, they already don't believe them about the witches in the first place. So, yeah, that should be interesting. Allison gets up and yells Danny's name really loud, as if that's going to accomplish something. I don't know. Then she helps up Max from the ground, who honestly looks like he just got his whole ass whooped by a percussion gang. The witches fly back home, and in what that I can only say looks like a form of the Pied Piper legend, the Witch of the Night starts to sing a magical song that lures the children away from their homes in a hypnotic trance. Allison then realizes that they just have to stall out the rest of the night because the witches will be gone when the sun comes up. They get into the parents' car and start to drive towards the witch's house while having to avoid all the hypnotized children in the streets along the way. The witches start to boast and brag about how young and beautiful they're gonna be again when they go full Hoover on these kids and suck all the life out of them. But little Danny is like, look, it doesn't matter how young or old you are, you already sold your soul. And you're the ugliest mother sucker that ever lived. And you know it. And if there's one thing we've learned about these witches, they don't like being called fugly. So then the witch is like, oh yeah, you getting this clap first.
It doesn't matter how young or old you are. You sold your soul. You're the ugliest thing that's ever lived, and you know it.
You die first.
And Danny is so cool because she just leans back and gives this face and a sigh like, hey, I said what I said. You heard it. It is what it is. I'm gonna die, but you still an ugly witch. Max and Allison pull up in the whip, and Danny is still inside trying to get out of her ropes and get away. Emily, take some notes. They try to get her to drink the potion, but she's a fighter. She bites one and steps on the other one's foot. Right then, Max busts in and he's like, hey, I may not have any powers, but I do have knowledge. And there's one thing that I know that you don't, and that's daylight savings time. Out of nowhere, the sun starts to rise, and the witches start screaming and fall to the ground in pain. Max frees Danny and Binks and heads to the door. And Thing 1 and Thing 2 are in the cages like, bro, let us out of here. Max sees his kicks that were stolen earlier in the day, and he's like, yup, I'll take these. They were clearly too big for him anyway. They run outside, and Danny's like, nah bro, hold up. We ain't leaving yet. I want to watch her die. she's a real one. And then she looks up and sees that there isn't any sunrise at all, and that the light that they see shining inside is really just the headlights from the car. And then she's like, on second thought, let's go. The witches wake up and they're like, oh, we've been tricked again. They see that the candle is almost burnt out and their potion has been destroyed, and they only have just enough for one child. They look outside and see that there are plenty of children to choose from, but like I told you, they don't like being called ugly, so it's personal now.
Besides, I want to get that little rat-faced kid that called me.
Oh, don't say it, Jody.
Ugly?
Oh, honey.
The witches track down Max in the car and she attacks him through the window, but he shoves her off. They get to the cemetery and Max runs into the zombie guy who was chasing them earlier. I don't know how Allison and Danny ran right by him and didn't see him, but Max turns around and he's right there. They run off without him while zombie guy takes Max's knife from him, but not to hurt him with, but to use it to cut off whatever that stuff is that was used to sew his mouth shut. Then he proceeds to give her a cursing that was 300 years in the making.
Do it now!
Wench. Trollop, you buck-toothed, mop-riding firefly from hell! I've waited centuries to say that.
They get back to the crew and he sees his two ride or dies waiting for him in an ambush ready to put in work on Billy. Billy's like, y'all chill, man, damn. I was ready to hit somebody. Why don't you try loving somebody? But Max explains to them that he's cool now, so they're good. And immediately, Danny takes a liking to him. Go figure, it's Disney. 1 minute you a zombie chasing me, next minute you my best friend, so. They go to set up a Rambo, Home Alone, Three Ninjas, booby-trapped weapon zone, preparing for the final battle. They put Danny in a ditch and surround her with salt, and they're like, look, stay here. You'll be safe here. As the witches arrive and everyone's ready to throw hands, Max is the first one to fail. As he swings his bat, she just catches it and throws him to the ground. Allison is up next, and she has better luck with the salt and throws it in the face of the witch in red. The head witch in charge takes aim at Danny now and shoots a zap at a tree branch, making it almost land and hit her. She flies at Billy and kicks off his head, which prompts Danny to, of course, leave her salt barrier zone to go get the head of her newfound buddy. Danny, you had one job. Sit your little jolly, nice zombie loving behind in that salt bunker. The witch realizes this and comes to grab her and tries to make her drink the potion, still salty about the ugly remark.
This'll teach you to call people ugly.
She drops the potion and Max catches it and tells her to put Danny down or he'll smash the potion. She responds by calling his bet and raising him, saying if you smash it, she dies. So Max does the only thing that he can think of. Which, I don't know how this is the only thing you can think of, bro. But whatever. He drinks the potion himself and tells her now she has to take him instead. I don't know how in his brain that was a good idea. Like, bro, she can still kill your sister and then come for you. You drinking the potion still doesn't guarantee Danny's safety at all. But it's Disney, so I promise my blood pressure, She throws Danny to the ground and picks up Max to start the legendary Gawk Gawk Combo 3000 and proceeds to suck his life away. But Max ain't no bitch. Not anymore. He grabs her neck, ironically enough, and pushes her head away. But she's relentless. She's determined to make this work. She double hand twists his shirt and pulls him right back up. But her grip isn't good enough and she can't complete the combo. Speaking of vacuums, the strong-nosed sister flies in to help, but Danny and the crew grab a hold of the cord and won't let go. In one last ditch attempt to suck him dry, the head witch in charge tries one last gawk attempt, but he pushes that head away and he's like, no thank you, I already got a girl and she likes my baby Ruth. Everyone falls to the ground and the witch gets back up and grabs Max again. Damn. Find you somebody who wants you as much as she wants Max. She picks him up off the ground and with her Wicked Witch of the West shoes on, double hand twists his shirt again and gives one last deep inhale of desperation, only to find out this gawky is in vain, baby. The sun is here. And you's a dead witch. The witch turns back to look at the sun like Lot's wife and turns into a pillar of stone. Hey, it's not salt, but she's definitely salty. The other two witches disintegrate into glitter bombs and the main witch explodes shortly thereafter. Everybody's okay now and Max and Danny embrace, thanking him that he saved her life and that she loves him. Billy goes back to his grave where it looks like he's very happy to be. They thank him as well, and he's off to bed. Binks is now gone because the spell wore off with the witches being gone now, I guess. So now his soul is set free. They look to the side and see Binks in his natural form. Binks thanks Danny for freeing him, thanks Max for lighting the candle, and then hears his sister calling for him. Hey man, stay far, far away from Emily. She's the whole reason why y'all are even in this mess. Nah man, I'm just playing. Just put a leash on her or something. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm the only one weirded out by this, but he like leans over and whispers in Danny's ears and says, "I'll always be with you." Then he like gives her a short pause glance at her face, as if to say, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then he leans in and kisses her anyway on the cheek. Thackeray, I'm gonna call you by your government name now because you being hella weird. That is not your sister. Your sister is right over there and you haven't seen her in over 300 years. Go kiss her. Now I get it. You laid and cuddled in the bed with her earlier when you were a cat. But you ain't a cat no more, bruh. Disney. This some creepy stuff, Disney. Y'all just threw any idea y'all had on the table back then in there, huh? Y'all were like, yup, let's do it. And I know there's always that one guy who's in the room who actually has some sense. And I'm sure he was like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do that. That looks kind of weird. That's kind of creepy. And she's 8. You're fired. He's fired. Get him out of here. He's fired. Bye. No, you gotta go. Get him. What's wrong with you? And then Emily has the nerve, the unmitigated gall to say,
Thackeray Beans, what took thee so long?
What took me so long? Man, listen, if I was Sir Thackeray, I'd be like, say it again. Say it again. I'd say it one more time. Ask me again what took me so long, huh? Say something. Just say something. I've been waiting 300 years to get in your ass. Say it again. Please.
Sorry, Emily. I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle.
Even at the very end of the movie, Disney's like, we gonna push these virgin jokes down y'all throats. Oh, y'all taking this, whether you like it or not. We put in too much work into these virgin jokes, damn it. Shoot, it's funny to us. We don't care if y'all don't laugh. They funny to us. And right after Thackeray makes that comment, Danny looks directly back at Max and she's like, yeah, bruh, you're the virgin. Don't think I forgot. And he leans forward and whispers in her ear, and if you tell one more person, I'm gonna beat your ass. Think it's a game. I mean, you can't really see his mouth move to say that, but I know that's what he said. So he's had enough, and I've had enough of this movie. Whew. Thank you so much for watching my first movie review. If you made it this far, I love you. Thank you. Please like the video and comment if it did entertain you. There'll be plenty more where this came from. Just so you know, Hocus Pocus 2 has been in pre-production since March 2020. At least that's the last time it was updated on IMDb. I'm sure COVID has something to do with the delay on the movie. So if you like this movie review, and if you like the movie Hocus Pocus as a whole, you should check out Hocus Pocus 2 whenever it's able to release. It does look like they're bringing back the 3 ladies to reprise their roles as the Sanderson sisters. I haven't seen anything as of yet talking about the kids reprising their roles or making a cameo or something, but I'm sure they probably will. They're obviously adults by now. But the 3 bad ladies will be making their return. Actually, if you go look it up and you look at their little poster, their advertisement says, "Revenge is a witch." Yeah. Disney gone Disney. You can't stop a Disney from Disney. Disney's gonna be Disney. Disney, please. Really quick, a very special thanks goes out to a few people who have helped me with support and encouragement and kept me focused along the way. Girly Nicholas, Carla Owens, Darius Stukes, and Antonio Delgado. Thank you so much to you guys. I love you guys so much. Very big parts of my life, and I do appreciate you. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you thought about the movie, if you've seen this movie before or if you're gonna see it now, and also let me know what movies you would like me to review next. I'm also an Amazon affiliate now, so if you guys ever want to purchase this movie on DVD or Blu-ray, click the link in the description and I have it down there ready for you to go. This has been a Ceeworld review. I love you guys. Until next time, give somebody a hug and tell them you love them. God bless. Peace.